My name is Daniel. I am 27 years old, and I come from a small town. For many years, I lived like many other people around me. I went to work, I came home, I watched TV, I scrolled on my phone, and then I went to bed. Day after day, the same routine repeated. At first, I thought this was normal life. Everyone was doing it, so why not me? But deep inside, I felt something missing. Every evening, after finishing my job, I had 4 or 5 hours of free time. What did I do with it? Most of the time, nothing important. I wasted hours watching funny videos, playing games, or checking social media. It gave me short happiness, but at the end of the night, I felt empty. I asked myself, where did all my time go? Why do I feel tired but not proud of myself? One night, I sat in my room and looked at my old guitar in the corner. I bought it 5 years ago. I always told myself, I will learn to play it when I have time. But after 5 years, I still could not play one full song. The guitar was dusty, and my dream was silent. That moment, I understood the truth. I did have time, but I wasted it. The next day, I met an old friend, Lucas. He used to be like me, always lazy in his free time. But now, he looked different, confident, energetic, and full of passion. I asked him, what happened to you? Why do you look so alive? He smiled and said, I stopped wasting my free time. I started using it to build my future. Every day, I practice skills, read books, and learn new things. Little by little, my life changed. His words hit me hard. I realized that free time is not just empty space. It is a gift, a chance to build something better. If I keep wasting it, I waste my life. That night, I could not sleep. I thought about all the hours I had thrown away. I thought about my dreams, playing guitar, improving my English, starting my own project. All of them were waiting for me, but I kept saying, not today, maybe tomorrow. And tomorrow never came. At that moment, I made a decision. I will not waste my free time anymore. I will turn it into power. I will use it to grow, to learn, to create. But I knew it would not be easy. Habits are strong, and laziness is always waiting. Still, I promised myself, step by step, I will change. At the beginning of my journey, I was tired of wasting my nights and weekends. I wanted something new. I wanted to use my free time to build a future I could be proud of. The next morning, I woke up with a new thought in my mind: do not waste your free time. It was simple, but it felt powerful. I knew that if I wanted to change my life, I had to start that very day, not tomorrow, not next week. After work, I came home and looked at the clock. Usually, this was the time I sat down, opened my phone, and lost myself in endless scrolling. But this time, I walked to the corner, took my guitar, and wiped away the dust. My fingers felt weak, and the sound was terrible, but I played for 15 minutes. It was hard, but when I finished, I felt proud. It was not perfect, but it was progress. The next day, I did the same. 15 minutes again. Then 20. Then 30. Slowly, I could play one song. It was simple, but when I finished it, I smiled like a child. For the first time in years, my free time gave me joy, not emptiness. But of course, it was not easy. Every evening, my phone called me. The games, the videos, the the lazy comfort. They tried to pull me back. Some nights, I failed. I wasted 2 hours online and then felt guilty. But I reminded myself, this is a journey. Do not give up. To make it easier, I made a small plan. 1 hour for music. Practice guitar every evening. 1 hour for English. Listen, read, and speak to myself. 30 minutes for exercise. Just simple things, running, push-ups, stretching. No phone for the first 2 hours after work. At first, this plan felt heavy. My body wanted comfort, my mind wanted excuses. But I told myself, your future is built in your free time. If you waste it, you waste yourself. I started with English. Every night, I spoke to myself, I am tired, but I am strong. I am learning English now. My sentences were short and full of mistakes, but I kept going. I also watched short videos in English with subtitles. At the beginning, I understood almost nothing. But I repeated them again and again. Slowly, I began to catch words, then phrases, then full sentences. After 1 month, I felt a big change. I was not perfect, but I could play 3 songs on the guitar. I could also introduce myself in English without panic. Even my body felt stronger because of the exercise. My life was not wasted anymore, it was moving. One evening, I met Lucas again. He asked me, "So, how are you doing?" I smiled and told him, I started to use my free time. It's hard, but I can see the results. He nodded and said, "Good. Remember, small steps every day become a big journey. Keep going." Those words gave me energy. I understood something important. I didn't need to be perfect today. I just needed to be better than yesterday. Free time was my tool, and if I used it wisely, it could change everything. But deep inside, I knew the real test was still waiting. Anyone can be strong for a few weeks, but true change comes with consistency. Would I continue when things became boring? Would I stay focused when life became busy? I didn't know yet. But I made a promise. I will not stop. The first 2 months were full of energy. Every evening, I felt motivated. I played guitar, studied English, and exercised. I saw progress, and progress gave me hope. But then life became harder. At work, my boss gave me a new project. It was stressful and required many late nights. Sometimes I came home so tired that I just wanted to sleep. My mind whispered, "It's okay. You deserve rest. Skip today. Watch some videos. Relax." At first, I listened. I told myself, one day off will not hurt. But one day became 2, then 3. Soon, a whole week passed with no practice. I felt guilty. My guitar stayed silent. My English notebook stayed closed. I looked at myself in the mirror and asked, "Daniel, are you going back to the old you?" That question hurt. I remembered the empty nights before I changed. I did not want to return there. One Friday evening, my friends invited me to a party. I went, thinking it would help me relax. But at the party, I noticed something. Everyone was talking, drinking, laughing, but most of the conversations were shallow. People complained about work, about politics, about others. Hours passed, and nothing meaningful happened. On the way home, I felt sad. I thought, I spent 4 hours here, and what did I gain? Nothing. If I had practiced guitar, I could play better. If I had studied English, I could speak better. But now, I just wasted my time. That night, I made a new rule: do not give your free time to things that give you nothing back. It doesn't mean I cannot enjoy life. It means I must choose carefully. My time is my life, and I cannot throw it away. Still, discipline was not easy. Some days, I failed again. Some nights, I scrolled on my phone for hours. But instead of giving up, I changed my strategy. I started using small tricks. 5-minute rule. When I felt lazy, I told myself, just do 5 minutes. 5 minutes of guitar, 5 minutes of English, 5 minutes of exercise. Most of the time, 5 minutes became 30 or 60. Starting was the hardest part, but once I started, I continued. Reward system. After practice, I allowed myself small rewards: 1 episode of a show, a piece of chocolate, or a short call with a friend. This made discipline feel lighter. Tracking progress. I wrote down every day what I did with my free time. If I wasted it, I marked it in red. If I used it well, I marked it in green. Watching the calendar full of green days gave me motivation. Slowly, I found my rhythm again. My guitar playing improved, my English speaking became smoother, and my body felt stronger. But more than skills, I started to feel a new power inside me: confidence. I was no longer the person who wasted hours and regretted it. I was the person who used hours to grow. One evening, I remembered something Lucas told me: free time is like money. You can spend it on cheap things that disappear, or you can invest it and make your future rich. Now I truly understood. I was investing in myself, and the value was growing. But the biggest lesson came one Sunday afternoon. I was practicing English by speaking to myself in the mirror. Suddenly, I realized I was speaking without translating in my head. The words came naturally. I smiled and thought, this is the result of many evenings when I almost gave up, but didn't. That moment was proof: using free time wisely creates real change. At a turning point. I had faced laziness, stress, and the temptation to waste time. I had failed many times, but I stood up again. I learned that consistency is not about being perfect every day, it is about not quitting. Free time is powerful only if you use it, and I was finally learning how to use it well. 6 months after I decided to change, something amazing happened. I was walking in the city center when I saw a small group of street musicians. They played guitar and sang. People stopped, smiled, and clapped. My heart beat fast. For a long time, I had practiced guitar alone in my room. But now I thought, maybe I can join them. I waited until they finished a song, then I asked shyly, "Can I try one song?" The leader looked at me and smiled. Of course. My hand shook as I took the guitar, but then my fingers remembered the chords. I started playing a song I had practiced many times at home. To my surprise, people listened. Some even sang along. When I finished, they clapped loudly. My face turned red, but my heart was full of joy. That moment told me, all those evenings of practice were not wasted. Later, I had another chance to test my progress. At work, we had foreign clients visiting. Before, I was always afraid to speak English in front of them. But this time, I joined the conversation. My words were simple, but clear. I introduced myself, explained my part of the project, and even made a small joke. They laughed politely, and I felt proud. My manager smiled and said, "Daniel, your English is improving a lot." That compliment stayed in my heart for weeks. My body also changed. I was not a professional athlete, but I felt stronger and healthier. I could run without losing breath quickly. I had more energy during the day. People around me noticed. One colleague said, "Daniel, you look different. More confident. More alive." I just smiled, but inside I knew why. I was no longer wasting my free time. One night, as I sat on my balcony, guitar in hand, I thought about my journey. 6 months ago, I was lost in endless scrolling and empty nights. Now, I had new skills, better health, and stronger confidence. But most of all, I had respect for myself. I kept a promise to use my time well. I realized something important. Success is not about one big action. It is about hundreds of small actions, repeated again and again, especially in your free time. Most people wait for big opportunities, but opportunities come to those who prepare. Free time is the secret place where preparation happens. I also learned that wasting time is easy. Growth is hard. But the pain of growth is nothing compared to the regret of wasted years. When you waste your free time, you don't notice it today, but 1 year later, 5 years later, you see what you lost. On the other hand, when you use your free time, maybe progress feels small today, but 1 year later, 5 years later, you will be amazed at how far you have come. If someone asked me now, "Daniel, what is your biggest lesson?" I would answer, don't waste your free time. It is the most precious gift you have. With it, you can build skills, create memories, grow stronger, and open doors you never imagined. Without it, life becomes empty, full of regret. I am not perfect. I still sometimes waste an evening. I still sometimes get lazy. But now I know the difference. I know the value of free time. And every time I feel weak, I remember the night I played guitar in front of strangers, the day I spoke English to clients, and the moment I looked at myself in the mirror and felt proud. Those memories remind me why I must keep going. So, my friend, if you are listening to this story, I want to tell you something. Look at your evenings. Look at your weekends. Ask yourself, am I investing my free time or am I wasting it? The answer will shape your future. Do not wait for tomorrow. Start today. Read, learn, move, create. Even small steps will lead you to big places. Because in the end, life is just time. If you waste time, you waste life. If you use time, you create life. The choice is yours.